Good morning, everyone. At St Ambrose Barlow, RC High School, students, like me, are taught Oracy discreetly in Year 7, and this is built upon in all subject areas across the curriculum, with a podcast project in Year 8 and a mock interview in Year 11. In Year 10, students complete their GCSE English Speaking and Listening certificate. This term, we have been focused on Oracy superstars as we prepare to write our speeches. Our curriculum will culminate with each Year 7 delivering a speech about a topic that they are passionate about. My personal favourite Oracy superstar that we have studied was Michelle Obama. This is because I find her extremely inspiring towards young people. I think that she should be seen as a role model for those of us who feel as though we aren't good enough. Michelle demonstrated in her Oracy skills a capacity to be honest and civilised, despite what she may have been facing from her political opponents. In her speeches, Michelle is relatable to her audience, not speaking as though she's of a higher rank than them. She talks as a mother, as the girl from South Side. Michelle is an Oracy superstar. She inspires diverse representation of communities like the one she grew up in. In my opinion, Oracy should be taught more often in schools across the UK and from a younger age. Oracy is useful in school life and daily life because it helps young people to consider how they come across to others.
Oracy has increased my confidence as a brown Asian girl as I faced much racism growing up. In Year 7, I didn't know how to be myself as I was scared of others' perceptions of me. I didn't know how to speak on important matters without the fear of backlash. I didn't have a tough enough skin to handle it. Oracy has changed all of that and made me a confident young girl in my own skin, which I realise doesn't need to be tough. Racism is a bigger problem in my area, from being called a packy at bus stops to being labelled a terrorist. I found it extremely hard to deal with it and often hated the whole situation. I lacked confidence to hold myself up and had very little self-esteem. People were discriminating against me, looking down at me for my skin colour. That's where Oracy came in and helped me with not only through my voice but also my physical being. It helped me gain more confidence. I feel like Oracy helped me deal with issues of identity. At the end of Year 7, I presented my speech on racism to my year group. In Year 8, I had the opportunity to do it again in front of 600 people at our presentation evening. The audience clapped and cheered, started to understand the pain and emotions of growing up Muslim in Salford. I spoke with passion and dedication. Oracy has given me the tools to inspire empathy in the minds of others.
Learning to socialise well is, in the end, crucial to our entire life. It is widely appreciated in the workplace and in a social, platonic or romantic situation. The ability to convey thought in a cohesive manner is extremely significant, as it can affect the way others perceive you as a whole. What's the point of having infinite knowledge without a useful method of conveying that information? Personally, I know I value my capabilities to express my thoughts in an intelligent manner incredibly highly, as it will be important to my future in basically every way thinkable. It even allowed me to speak at the Northern Rocks Teaching Conference, where I performed my speech to hundreds of teachers. The ability to share thoughts confidently is also a key factor not only to success in future life, but to our current happiness and self-esteem. A lot of people our age can feel confined due to an inability to express the way they feel eloquently, and this inexperience can persist for much longer unless they are exposed to explicit Oracy teaching at a young age. Parents often come to our Oracy events and say that they wish they had done this at school. This clearly demonstrates that we're removing a barrier to adult life. Oracy works. Thank you on behalf of the St Ambrose team. We're happy to take some questions.
Thank you, St Ambrose team. I think one of the questions that the panel may have asked you would be that difference between what happens in an Oracy lesson or a lesson that's influenced and taught through Oracy strategies and a lesson that just uses the kind of everyday speaking and listening processes that have happened in classrooms for years.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the difference is that in a normal classroom, we focus on speaking and listening in coherence. Whereas in Oracy, we focus on the cognitive aspect of speaking. We think about how to formulate answers, how to think more deeply about viewpoints and stuff. And that definitely comes across in debates and debate-style settings, as it really causes you to think, well, what about that other person's opinion? And that is something that we rarely have in other classrooms due to things like maths, where there is only one answer. In an Oracy lesson, there is rarely ever a answer. It's all what's the word? Subjective. It's all subjective to the person.
My answer to that question would probably be, then Oracy, it doesn't rely on survival of the fittest like so many other subjects. For example, it's mainly the denominators in classroom environments that are answering the questions, and a quiet kid who rarely puts their hand up may have the exact same answers they did, but they don't want to put their hand up because they don't have the confidence, they lack it. And that's a big part of what Oracy teaches. It helps people gain that confidence so they're able to use it, not just in answering questions in classrooms, making friends, doing all these things. It's going to help benefit them in further life. So.
Could I just interject? When you talk about dominators, would you say that they do any learning through Oracy?
I feel like even dominators learn how to speak better in conversation. People might not like it if you're always dominating a conversation, so Oracy even helps you learn when to cut back on speaking, when to let the other person. It also helps with listening, is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, thank you, Selma. That was really helpful. Maya, have you got something to add?
Yes, I have actually. In Oracy, there is usually a talking point, and usually you get put into a small group, or you just get to think about it yourself, and you kind of build up ideas to add to that talking point. And like Martin said, there's no right or wrong answer in Oracy. I mean, there is a right and wrong answer talking about, like, if it's a question or something, but it's different than in a normal classroom, because I myself always have my hand up in a classroom. It's a very grown habit. But learning Oracy has helped me realise that everybody needs to talk, and even if you do know the answer, you need to give, like, not small people, quiet people an opportunity to speak.
So if I could build on that, one of our school mission part of our school mission statement is about everybody matters. And I found as a teacher of Oracy that I really feel that it democratises the classroom, that everybody gets equity and an opportunity to answer. And so it's really lovely for me to hear all of you reflecting that you know that. And I'm incredibly proud of you. Well done. Thank you.